Check, 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 check. Check, 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 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. 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 Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 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 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2.
Welcome in live to Pioneers Baseball, top of the fifth inning, a continuation matchup between the Geneva Red Wings and the Elmira Pioneers. I'm Farrell Hudson for the Elmira Pioneers Broadcast Network. Apologies for the delay in audio, bit of a technological difficulty here, but we resume this continuation game from June 8th, top of the fifth inning with 2 outs. Elmira ahead in the ball game 8-3 over the Red Wings as Larson Birch, the right-hander, kicks and fires a breaking ball for a called strike. 2 outs quickly here in the top of the fifth. Tim Bowerman, the right fielder, in this continuation ball game for Geneva, grounded out to the shortstop O'Neill, and Zane Barron lined one off of Birch on the mound, took a trickle out to the shortstop position. Liam O'Neill safely retired him for out number 2, and now missing inside with a nice 9-3 slider as Larson Birch gets plenty of movement on his pitches, sits about 85 to 87 miles an hour, firing from the left side of the rubber, stretch position. A 3-1 count with 2 outs. Pios ahead. 5 runs here in the top of the fifth. A line drive off of Birch. It kicks to his left. He's going to barehand it, underhand flip to first. A beautiful play to get the Pios out of the inning. A 1-2-3 top half of the fifth inning. In fact, no runs on no hits, no errors, and no runners stranded on base. We played 4.5, 8-3 Pios lead here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Dunn Field, bottom of the fifth inning between the Elmira Pioneers and the Geneva Red Wings, an 8-3 lead. Elmira in front here in the home half of the fifth inning. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 in the Elmira order to come to the plate against the righty Cannon Van Duzer. Van Duzer already going into his third inning of work. It'll be TJ Grimesti, the right fielder, to lead things off, followed by the shortstop Liam O'Neill and the third baseman John Simmons. Grimesti digging in from the right side against the right-hander Van Duzer, who winds and fires, and the first pitch to TJ is a ball high and away, and we're underway in the home half of the fifth. 3 runs on 5 hits and 5 errors for Geneva, 8 runs on 7 hits and an error for your Pios. Knee-high fastball taken for a called strike. Van Duzer painting over the inner third, 1-1 the count to Grimesti. Van Duzer working quickly out of the windup, delivers a breaking ball low in the dirt, 2-1. A nice, calm, cool, overcast afternoon. A 7-inning ball game to follow this evening between Elmira and Geneva. Breaking ball misses high and away. 3 balls and a strike the count to Grimesti, who has just been so valuable this season so far for the Pioneers. Grimesti in and out of both the right field position and catcher. Such a versatile ball player. He walks here to lead off the bottom of the fifth. So his on-base percentage will continue to increase. Already a .586 on-base percentage. Just video game-like numbers for Grimesti. Right now, a .1222 OPS. He'll be off of first base with plenty of speed, nobody out. Brock Ratterman in the ball game for Jack Turner is going to hold on Grimesti, who's out to about a 10-foot lead. Fastball hugs the inside corner, called strike 1 to Liam O'Neill. Liam, the 4-year ball player from the University of Bridgeport, 4 ball games, 10 at-bats on the season, has only found success in one of them, 1 for 10, a 100 batting average, but an on-base percentage of .471, so he's got a great eye, can draw walks, and has plenty of speed to man the shortstop position. 0-1 with 1 out. Grimesti's off and running. Pitch over the head of O'Neill goes to the backstop. Grimesti will easily coast into second base, standing up. 1-1 the count with Grimesti in scoring position. Pioneers with a 5-run lead here in the home half of the 5th. Grimesti likely would have gotten into second base safe anyway. You have Zane Barron catching behind the plate for Geneva. Now Grimesti off of second with nobody out. Outfield's at medium depth. A base hit should easily score the Pioneers right fielder. And now a balk has been called on Cannon Van Duzer. Field umpire is going to go over, have a conversation with him, say, hey, you never came to a stop. Van Duzer working quickly out of the windup with Grimesti off of third, nobody out. On your screen, you'll see the Geneva Red Wings infield come in. It's because they're trying to cut off as many runs as possible. They're down 5 here in the home half of the 5th, and remember the 10-run mercy rule is in effect. Pioneers pressing for more here, up 5, nobody out. In the middle of the order's up. 1-2 pitch to O'Neill. The slider misses outside in the dirt, 2-2. Left side of the Geneva infield, Aiken Santana at third, Jaden Madrid at shortstop. J.D. Robinson is at second base, Brock Ratterman at first. 2-2 breaking ball misses outside. O'Neill, we mentioned his strong plate discipline, a near .500 on-base percentage. Executing why here with a calm, cool, and collected approach. He's worked the count from 1-2 to a full count with nobody out. Van Duzer fires in the fastball inside. O'Neill walks for ball 4. Runners on the corners with nobody out for Elmira, home half of the 5th. That's 2 consecutive walks to open up the bottom of the 5th for Cannon Van Duzer. And it'll bring up the lefty swinging third baseman, John Simmons. Pioneers have gotten their record back to 4-4. They began this season 0-3, including 2 consecutive road losses. One coming to Batavia back on May 31st. This pitch, fastball, outside corner, called strike. O'Neill takes second. So now the Pios have 2 in scoring position for Simmons. John on the season coming from Liberty University. We've mentioned his strong pop numbers, 9 homers, 43 RBIs, commanding a .264 batting average across a couple seasons with the Flames. This year with the Pioneers so far, making good of his opportunities through 12 ball games. .333 batting average and a .500 slug percentage, culminating in an OPS just south of 1,000. It'll be a 1-1 pitch coming, righty on lefty matchup with the Geneva infield in. Nobody out. Van Duzer kicks and delivers, and the slider fouled off behind home plate. A ball and 2 strikes the count. Followed by John Simmons. It'll be Carl Wagner doing the catching for the Pioneers. Wagner in about a 4-man rotation with Brandon Dowbeck, Anthony Manganello, and TJ Grimesti, but you're going to start seeing likely more of Grimesti in the outfield. Possesses just ridiculous speed, as we already alluded to, as Simmons, a check swing and a miss. Looks like Van Duzer took some off of that on the outside corner pitch, so it's a strikeout. And with 1 out and 2 runners on for the Pios, home half of the 5th, here comes the catcher, Carl Wagner. Geneva infield will remain in to cut off the run. Wagner bats from the right side. Wagner still searching for his first hit on the season through 6 at-bats. Takes a fastball inside. It's 1-0. Wagner, just 6 plate appearances in general. Grounds one fair down the third base line. Grimesti comes in to score easily. O'Neill right behind him. He'll score. It's a 2 RBI single off the bat of Wagner. An important first hit for him on the season. And Elmira leads 10-3. So the first hit of the inning culminates in 2 runs for Elmira. The 2 walks come back to bite Van Duzer. And we talked about that mercy rule advantage that the Pioneers could possess, thus giving both them and the Red Wings more time between game 1 and 2. Elmira certainly hopes so they can continue to preserve bullpen arms. Andy Drum mentioning what a relief that's been so far this season. And it looks like that deficit could continue to be in jeopardy for Geneva. They're down 7, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. It'll be the lefty swinging Kosei Ogura watches a fastball outside for ball 1, and the next offering is a heater that catches the corner for a called strike 1. 3 runs on 5 hits and 5 errors for the Red Wings. 10 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for your Pioneers. 1 out, home half of the 5th. Ogura swing and a miss. Looks like a well-executed changeup over the outer half from Van Duzer. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss from Ogura. So Van Duzer effectively retires him for out number 2. So with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, that'll bring up the righty swinging Vincent Favada. 2 strikeouts for Van Duzer here in the home half of the 5th. Righty on righty matchup with Wagner, the man of the inning, leading off of first. Drove in a 2-run single, slapped a fair ball down the left field line, just out of the reach on the backhand side of Aiken Santana, who moves very well at the third base position, can man the hot corner as well as anybody. Versatile speed and looking to seek out more time. Also teammates with Zach Banks down at Embry-Riddle University, the Division II Aeronautical Space School in Florida. Thomas Eaton for Geneva, the manager of the 1-9 Red Wings, certainly a struggle to begin. They've lost ball games to the likings of scores 11-1, 20-3. Not one pitcher with an ERA south of 5. Van Duzer looking to change those fortunes right now and get pitching back on the right track for them, but he's given up 2 runs in the inning as he delivers the breaking ball over the outside corner. It's a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs to Favada. Wagner got a big jump, and a swing and a miss from Favada goes to the backstop. It's a drop third strike, and Vinny's going to reach. And now advancing all the way up to third base is Carl Wagner. So some more tough times continue for the Red Wings as behind home plate, Zane Barron, the catcher, couldn't even locate the baseball. Barron in for Parker Zeiser, who originally caught his brother 9 days ago in this ball game. Kaz Zeiser got the start, both natives of Victor, New York, and attendees of Monroe Community College, but it's Barron getting the nod behind the dish. Here in this game 1, Favada about a 10 to 12 foot lead off of first with 2 outs. Wagner off of third, good RBI opportunity for the righty swinging designated hitter Tanner Carranza, who takes a called strike. Carranza getting some time in the outfield this year, but starting to get more reps in as a DH. He bats with 2 outs. Favada takes off for second. Halfway in between first and second, just dances. Looks to see if Zane Barron even bothers to make the throw, but Barron with the wherewithal not to take the bait. No balls and 2 strikes the count. 2 RBIs in scoring position for Carranza. Geneva infield backs up, outfield at medium depth. Duzer kicks and fires, and the fastball inside to Carranza. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rather, 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th, Pios up by 7 in this continuation ball game. Van Duzer fires, and the breaking ball outside, blocked in the dirt. Now coming to the plate, not realizing it, sliding it safely is Carl Wagner. He just got in ahead of the tag by Barron, who was late to the plate. Pioneers will take it. Favada advances to third. That's the kind of way it's been going for the Red Wings early on in this season, in jeopardy of losing their 10th ball game in 11 games to open up the season. And small plays like that can sometimes be proof as to some of the hard times they've endured. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count with the Pios ahead 8 runs. Pios certainly hoping they can close out this ball game with a mercy rule. If so, they'd have to only get 6 more outs out of their bullpen. You have the usually reliable Bobby Boying taking the mound for the Pios tonight in a well-rested bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count, a high chopper on the ground to third. Aiken Santana, the throw across the diamond is perfect to conclude the bottom of the 5th inning. But for Elmira, they get 3 runs on a hit, no errors, and a runner stranded on base. We'll take it to the 6th. Elmira ahead by 8 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. A 1-2-3 inning for Larson Birch in the Geneva half of the 5th, and it's turned back over to the top of the batting order. Here to begin the 6th, Pioneers with an 8-run lead in this continuation game from 9 days ago. Welcome back to the Pioneers Baseball Network. I'm Farrell Hudson. Jada Madrid to lead things off against Larson Birch. Red Wings 1-9 on the season, down 11-3 in this game. The regularly scheduled Tuesday night game between Geneva and Elmira will happen after this ball game. We'll get you more time information on the time, but we figure likely half an hour to 45 minutes. Should this game last the normal 9 innings, right around a 6:30 start time in Game 2. But the Pioneers, as we mentioned the inning before, hopefully will squeak out 2 more runs in the home half of the 6th and be eligible for a 10-run mercy rule in the 7th. Save a couple arms as a fastball over the outside corner. Larson Birch fires for a called strike. 2-1 the count to the leadoff righty hitter Madrid. Out of Herkimer County Community College, was a Region 3 Defensive Player of the Year this season. Consistent .339 hitter. 2-1 pitch. Madrid a high pop-up. Hicken wide of the first base bag to his left in foul territory. Ranges over and makes the catch for out number 1. So Madrid pops out, and that'll bring up the second baseman J.D. Robinson. Robinson in place of Matt Buca, who started this game back on June 8th. Buca has gone out to the Pecos League in the southwestern United States, no longer a part of the Geneva Red Wings for the summer of 2025. So it's Robinson digging in from the right side with 1 out, and the base is empty. A swing and a miss. Larson took some off that. Well-executed changeup at the knees. 0-1 the count to Robinson. A 1 in the dirt from Birch. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Robinson, a graduate student from Houghton College, an All-PAC second team in 2024, formerly of Virginia Wesleyan University. Fouls off Birch's next offering. Larson doing a good job of getting ahead so far and keeping the ball low in the zone in this ball game. Induced 3 groundouts in the top half of the 5th. And now a pop-up here in the 6th to retire the first 4 batters he's faced effectively in order. Birch, no stranger to the Pioneers. His father, Matt, a 1998 first-round draft choice of the Kansas City Royals out of VCU, spent some time playing here in the early 2000s for the Elmira Pioneers. Next offering misses down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count with 1 out to Robinson. Two with 1 out. Breaking ball inside just misses. Robinson with a good take at the knees. Birch and Wagner simultaneously were getting set for the strike three call. They don't get it, so it'll be a payoff pitch coming with one out. Base is empty, top of the sixth. Pios ahead by 8. Birch kicks and fires the 3-2. This one grounded to shortstop. A high hop for Liam O'Neill. On 2 hops, the shuffle, the throw across the diamond. A good adjustment by Hicken to stay on the bag for out number 2. So the putout goes 6-3. First 5 batters that Birch has faced in the ballgame, he's retired effectively in order, and that'll bring up the designated hitter Zach Banks. Led the NYCBL in extra base hits and stolen bases last year. Was an all-star in his time with the Rochester Ridgemen. Can provide a lot of pop and speed for this Red Wings squad. He'll bat with 2 outs. Pioneers did a good job of keeping Banks off the base, including 2 strikeouts as he pops one just wide of third, just out of the reach of Simmons down the left field line, finds grass, dropping in fair territory for a 2-out base hit. So Banks is aboard. 6th hit of the ball game for Geneva. And I got speed on the base paths for the lefty swinging first baseman Brock Ratterman. Ratterman, the sophomore first baseman, out of the small Benedictine College. He'll face Birch with 2 outs. Larson kicks and fires from the left side of the rubber. A high pop-up down the left field line. Simmons is going to give it a long run off the third base position. Makes a nice catch. John Simmons had a long way to go and a beautiful basket catch to conclude the top of the 6th. In the inning, for Geneva, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they strand Banks on base. We'll take it to the bottom half. Elmira had 11-3 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Pioneers lead 11-3 as we get you set for the bottom of the 6th inning. Pioneers have sent 10 batters to the plate through 2 innings in this resumption of a ball game from June 8th in which the Pios led 8-3 entering the bottom of the 4th, a 1-1 count to Tanner Carranza. We've picked up since there. Pios have scored 3 runs in this afternoon's ball game, came on a hit in the bottom of the 5th. More importantly for the Red Wings, 2 walks issued by Cannon Van Duzer to both Gromesti and O'Neill, who moved into scoring position. Some stolen bases, some pass balls, culminating in Elmira runs, and then a 2 RBI single, which brought it all together from Carl Wagner down the left field line. Favada walked, and the pass ball allowed the 3rd Pios run to score in the inning. So Jacob Moniz bats from the right side. Base is empty and nobody out. Home half of the 6th. Van Duzer kicks and fires the 1-1. And the slider catches the outside corner for a called strike 2. Moniz batting .222 on the season. A high pop-up at second base. Settling right under it is Robinson. He'll put it away for out number 1. So Moniz pops out. a hit in the first 2 innings of this resumption for the Pioneers, who lead 11-3, bottom of the 6th inning with 1 out. Thank you for joining us here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Once again, Game 2 will have live coverage later, Pioneers and Red Wings, and what will be the third matchup on the season. Elmira seemingly headed for a second consecutive victory versus the Wings to open up 2025, who are in jeopardy of dropping to 1-10 on the season. For the Pios, they started 0-3. When they win in this ball game, they moved to 5-4. 0-1 to the righty swinging Ben Rohde with 1 out, and Ben fouls it off. No balls and 2 strikes. Rohde splitting a lot of time between both the left and center field positions. Left side of the outfield, him and Dylan Fatovich primarily interchangeable in both positions. Manager Andrew Drum, very unique. 8 lineups, all not specific to one another. Through the opening 2 weeks of the season. Breaking ball misses just inside. Rohde takes at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Drum, the confidence is there. He's telling me earlier, I think all these factors that have played into the season so far, whether you look at that 0-3 start as this one chopped on the ground to the shortstop Madrid on the high hop, handles it, throws across the diamond just in time to beat Rohde by a couple steps. So 2 outs and the base is empty. As Moniz pops up and Rohde grounds to third. And that'll bring up Brooks Hicken. Drum did say, though, you got to be prepared this week. You got a doubleheader today. Single game versus Auburn tomorrow night from Dunfield. Same thing goes for Thursday night when the Geneva Red Wings roll right back into town. But then an 11 a.m. game on the road at Colburn Park in Newark on Friday morning against a Pilots team that's been very competitive to open up 2025. A doubleheader Saturday here versus Newark, and then you travel your longest road trip of the season out to Jamestown to take on Frank Jagoda's Jamestown Tarpskunks, who have been reeling lately, have just fallen under 500. So a busy week for the Pioneers in a nutshell. 9 games in a matter of about 120 hours, so very busy times, but Elmira looking to make their best of it. We'll be about a third of the way through the season following the conclusion of this week's ball games. 2-1 the count to Brooks Hicken. Lefty swinging. Product of Jacksonville, Florida, grounds it to third base. Aiken Santana to his forehand side. Nice range, we mentioned it earlier, as he throws across the diamond to retire Hicken to conclude an effective 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th inning for the right-hander Cannon Van Duzer. He gets Jacob Moniz to pop up, Ben Rohde out, and Brooks Hicken to ground out. No runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners stranded on base. We take it to the 7th. Pios up by 8 here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. We head to the top of the 7th inning from Dunfield in this continuation game between the Elmira Pioneers and the Geneva Red Wings, second matchup of the season between both squads, and we're glad you could join us. I'm Farrell Hudson for the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Larson Birch taking his mound for the 3rd inning of work for him. He's only stranded a hit through 2 innings as he kicks and fires to the righty swinging Aiken Santana, fouls it off in the box. We're even at a ball and a strike. Game resumed with the Pioneers ahead 8-3 in the bottom half of the 4th. Pios scored 3 runs on a hit in the home half of the fifth. Here in the seventh for Geneva, it'll be the 5, 6, and 7 in the Red Wings order. Santana, followed by Christian Bermudez, the left fielder, and Tyler Skaggs, the designated hitter. 1-1 pitch coming with nobody out. Santana shoots it to first. Brooks Hicken with a nice grab on the line drive for the first down of the inning. So Santana's retired for the first out. And with the bases empty, that'll bring up the righty swinging Bermudez to the dish. Bermudez has been reeling so far to begin the season. For total games played, only 2 starts, a 143 batting average as he gets clipped on the inside pitch from Birch. Fastball nicked him on the knees. Bermudez down to first with 1 out. Once again, for all live coverage, including some pregame reports, the manager's report with Andy Drum. Stick around for our live coverage for Game 2 this evening. 6:30 p.m., first pitch. Pioneers going for their 5th win in 6 ball games. A real impressive turnaround from their tough 0-3 beginning. A beginning in which saw the Pioneers yield a negative 20 run differential. Couple rainouts in the process. Many off days in between. 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball, misses in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes to count to the righty swinging Tyler Skaggs. Geneva designated hitter, batting .300 on the season across 10 at-bats. Strong .462 on base percentage. And has been perfect in the field, interchangeably, wherever Thomas Eaton has placed him so far. Birch fires the next offering. It's fastball taken on the corner for a called strike. 2-1 the count, righty on righty matchup, top of the 7th inning, with Elmira ahead by 8. 2-1, a snap throw back to first. Birch and Hicken play catch, keeping an eye on the speedy Bermudez, who got plunked. Ranges off the bag with a short lead, now extends it out 10 to 12 feet. Outfield at medium depth. Bermudez a bluff and a ground ball left side of the infield. O'Neill to his backhand. Goes to second. 1. On to first. In time for 2. A 6-4-3 twin killing as Skaggs is retired. And that'll get the Pios out of the top of the 7th inning. So Larson Birch faces the minimum in the inning. No runs and no hits. No errors and a runner stranded on base. We played 6.5. Get up and stretch. The Pios lead 11-3 here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Dunn Field, home half of the 7th inning. DJ Grimesti comes to the plate for the Pios. 11-3, Elmira leads in this continuation ball game. 6 more outs to get out of the bullpen, and Larson Birch has pitched phenomenally so far as a line drive to third snapped like a vacuum, making Santana to retire Grimesti on an absolute howitzer. Just hit right at the third base position. Santana snares it with his glove. 1 out. And the base is empty now in the home half of the 7th. Liam O'Neill comes to the dish. Beautiful piece of hitting regardless from Grimesti, who's been unbelievable to start the season. We've just sung him such high praise, and deservingly so of it, towards the top of the leaderboard in all offensive statistics in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. And we're getting past the point of a small sample size, too. Already the 9th ball game here that the Pios are playing, as O'Neill takes a called strike 1. Cannon Van Duzer, who's gone through 3 1/3 innings of relief work so far, make that 4 1/3 actually, appeared at the bottom of the 2nd inning back on June 8th in this continuation game, giving Geneva some long relief, and Thomas Eaton, manager of the Red Wings, not intending to have anybody else in this ball game. They're already behind by 8, home half of the 7th. 5 more outs to get, hypothetically, from Geneva should they remain down 8 runs and not come back to salvage victory in the ball game. Complete new look in this game, too, this evening. We know Bobby Boying's the starter for the Pioneers, still waiting on confirmation for Geneva's starter. But the Pios with a chance to take the second game of the doubleheader later. Here's a high pop-up from O'Neill. Will it stay in fair territory? Giving it a look is the catcher, Barron, and it goes into the trash can, in and out. So how about that? O'Neill could have had a long-range shot go in. Sure, not the long-range shot going in he was intending or thinking of, but what a unique coincidence there as it gets popped up down the third baseline into the stands. 1-2 the count to O'Neill with 1 out. Ready-unready matchup. Van Duzer working out of the windup, right side of the rubber. About 6 to 8 seconds in between pitches. Kicks and fires. And the next offering is a breaking ball fouled off by O'Neill to stay alive in the count. 1-2. O'Neill walked and came around to score 1 of 3 Elmira runs in the home half of the 5th, which has gotten the Pios out to an 8-run advantage. Pioneers would have claimed real dominance this week through the PGCBL had they rallied to win Friday night's ball game, as in Game 2. They trailed then 11-2 to Batavia, closed it to an 11-7 ball game in the bottom of the 5th. That was also a 7-inning shortened game, so for the Pios, this is already their second doubleheader. And they'll play 2 more alone this week, then 2 more after that on the season. 6 doubleheaders in total, comprising a quarter of their season schedule. Granted, you have a lot of off days in between, but certainly a unique element being thrown Elmira's way. First 3 ball games they lost. They did not engage in a doubleheader, so figure about 33 single games remaining on the Pioneers' schedule, month and a half remaining in the season. A lot of time to make up ground. You never want to worry too much about the standings early on, as obviously Elmira hasn't. They've gotten back to a 4-4 record, now likely advancing to 5-4, 2-0 versus Geneva on the season, should they emerge victorious in the ballgame. O'Neill off of first. He got plunked. Second hit batsman of the affair for Cannon Van Duzer, who's now doing a nice job settling in for Geneva. 3 runs on 6 hits and 5 errors for the Red Wings. 11 runs on 8 hits and an error for the Pioneers. Next offering, a high fly ball deep to right field. Going back is Bowerman onto the warning track at the fence. Makes the play to retire John Simmons on a long fly ball deep to right. Simmons, of any collegiate baseball player for the Pioneers in the last 2 years, showcasing the best power department numbers, as we alluded to earlier. 9 homers across 2 seasons at the Division I Liberty University. Flies one deep to right field there. So Grimesti lined out to begin the bottom of the 7th. Then Liam O'Neill got plunked. And a long F9 for John Simmons sets up 2 outs with O'Neill off a second as he tags up on the long fly ball. He's in scoring position. A ground ball from Carl Wagner to third base. Had the RBI single his last time up, but grounds out to Santana here to conclude the home half of the 7th. So despite the hit batsman, the Pios strand a runner in scoring position. No runs and no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. Let's take it to the 8th. Pios ahead by 8 here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. 11-3, the Pios lead as we get you set for the top of the 8th inning. Larson Birch going into his 4th inning of relief. He had a nice top of the 7th inning, got Aiken Santana to line out to Brooks Hicken at first base, then a hit batsman to Christian Bermudez, but it was all washed away with Tyler Skaggs hitting one to the backhand side of Liam O'Neill. Liam snared and turned a quick double play. It went Liam O'Neill to Moniz at second, on to Hicken at first, 6-4-3, which got the Pios out of the top of the 7th. Only a hit allowed through 9 outs so far for Birch. As we head to the top of the 8th, it's the right fielder Tim Bowerman to dig in. Squaring to bunt and taking back for a called strike. It's 0-1. Check that now. A pinch hitter in the ball game for Tim Bowerman. This next pitch, chop foul in the box. It's Dylan Briggs, the sophomore out of Montclair State University, fouling it off in the box. No balls and 2 strikes the count. 3 runs on 6 hits and 5 errors for Geneva. 11 runs on 8 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers, who have taken advantage of a Geneva defense in which has faltered in the ballgame, committed 5 errors in the opening 2 1/3 innings. Not helping their starting pitcher, Kaz Zeiser. The first 3.5 innings of the ballgame began 9 days ago on the originally scheduled June 8th matchup with the Red Wings coming to town. So nothing into the count. Nobody out and the bases empty. Top of the 8th. Pios with an 8-run lead. Larson Birch in his 4th inning of work against the righty Briggs, who was a 2-time All-Conference and Carpenter Cup selection, winning a state championship at Middletown South High School. 0-2, misses outside from Birch on the slider, 1-2 the count. Briggs accumulating a batting average of .278 across 20 games. 3 starts, only 18 at-bats on the season. No extra base hits and 5 RBIs for him. 1-2 count with nobody out. Briggs, a swing and a miss. Good slider executed by Birch over the inner third. And Briggs is retired for out number 1. So here comes Zane Barron to the plate. Originally started the ballgame as an extra hitter and has now moved behind the plate to catch. Parker Zeiser out of the ballgame. Originally caught the opening 3 innings 9 days ago. He bats from the right side. Simmons crashes in at third. Base is empty, and Birch delivers. Breaking ball just misses off the outside corner. 1-0 the count. As we alluded to early in the broadcast, Barron, one of 4 catchers for this Geneva Red Wings squad. Hillsborough Community College product from Daytona Beach, Florida. Fouls off the next offering from Birch. We're even at a ball and a strike. So it'll be a 1-1 coming with 1 out. Geneva half of the 8th inning. Birch from the left side of the rubber kicks and fires, and the fastball swatted foul by Barron out of play. Behind the Pios dugout, 1-2 the count. Birch a long stare in, working out of the windup. Slow, calm delivery from a tall arm slot. 1-2 with 1 out. Fastball from Birch. Misses away, 2-2. Two with 1 out. Birch delivers and a ground ball deep in the hole at third. Nice snare by Simmons. Gets to his forehand, fires. Beautiful play. A forehanded snare and a spinorama by Simmons deep in the hole at third, as he retires Barron for out number 2. What a play by the Pios third baseman. Sets up 2 outs and the base is empty. Here comes Jordan Perry, the center fielder. Perry digging in from the left side, rounding out the Geneva order. Time is called. So 0-0 the count. Looks like there's Geneva Red Wing right behind home plate. A bit of a brief conversation from our home plate umpire settles things out. It'll be Perry to dig in from the left side with 2 outs. Base is empty. Pios up by 8. Birch, the only pitcher so far in the ball game, in relief for the Pios in the continuation. Swatted into left field, right on a line. Hangs up for Vinny Favada, who makes the play to end the top of the 8th. So a clean top half for Birch. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We played 7.5 at the done. 11-3 Elmira leads here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. (11-3) the Pioneers lead here from historic Dunn Field in Elmira, New York, in this continuation ball game from 9 days ago, from Sunday, June 8th, originally scheduled. Pios got out to an 8-3 lead then. They now lead 11-3. Home half of the 8th. 3 more outs to get in the ball game, and we're glad you could join us here in the Pioneers Baseball Network. Farrell Hudson with you on this early Tuesday evening. Kosei Ogura to lead off the bottom of the 8th. Chops one foul against the right-hander Kenan Van Duzer. Righty on lefty matchup. Ogura in his last trip to the plate, a strikeout swinging. One of 2 strikeout victims in the ball game so far against Van Duzer. So 0-1 the count. The righty out of Sayre, Pennsylvania, kicks and fires, and the fastball from Van Duzer misses outside, 1-1. Van Duzer, the senior right-handed pitcher, currently at SUNY Brockport, formerly making 13 appearances at Tompkins Cortland Community College, pitching 46 1/3 innings in 2024. 1 complete game, tallied 28 strikeouts in 2 seasons. Eating a lot of innings at the JUCO level, delivers a 1-2 breaking ball outside to Ogura, who adjusts his shin guards. Pioneers out-hitting Geneva only by 2, but outscoring them by 8. 5 errors, the theme of the ball game for the Red Wings, hence having them trail so far behind. Pioneers have dealt with their fair share of errors made, at least 1 error in each of their opening 9 ball games this season. Certainly a point of emphasis to improve upon from manager Andy Drum all the way down through the roster. A swing and a miss from Ogura. Kosei's second strikeout of the ball game. He's down to open up the bottom of the 8th. 1 out and the base is empty. Vincent Favada will come to the dish. Favada batting from the right side, and the base is empty. Van Duzer kicks and fires, and Favada chops one on the ground to third. Going to be a long run in, bare hand by Santana. Throw to first, it's wide and down the right field line. Favada's going to spin and make the turn towards second as that goes up near the tarp. It'll be an error made. E5 on Santana, the 6th error of the ball game for the Geneva Red Wings. Favada advances up into scoring position. He's on second base with 1 out. So Tanner Carranza comes to the plate with 1 out. He represents the Mercy Rule run. Pioneers need to just score 2 more runs to make it an official 10-run ball game after 7 innings. Pioneers wouldn't mind to save a little extra arm juice for game number 2. They got Bobby Boying on the mound. Boying through 2 starts on the season has taken the mound and pitched over 3 innings in each game. Originally got the start in this game against the Geneva Red Wings. Also got the start on opening night against the Jamestown Tarpskunks, a 7-4 loss at Dunfield here then. That ball game now 18 days history. So the Pioneers have opened up this season playing 10 ball games in their first 21. Now 10 ball games in their next 10. And they'll see a lot of the Red Wings, so like other teams so far have enjoyed success against Geneva, so have the Pios. 2-0 with a victory here, potentially 3-0 with a win tonight. They'll see Geneva on Thursday night here from Dunfield, and also next Friday night with the Red Wings coming in on June 27th. 2-1 the count with 1 out. To the right-handed hitting Tanner Carranza. Tanner in his last trip to the plate, a ground ball to third. 2-1 from Van Duzer, slapped on the ground to second. The high hops handled by Robinson, the throw to first in time for out number 2. Favada advances to third. So with 2 outs, and Favada representing the 12th run of the ball game for Elmira, it'll be Jacob Moniz, ready swinging second baseman, to come to the dish for Elmira. For the Pioneers, it was ruled an infield single for Favada, and then a throwing error from Santana that allowed Vinny to advance, as Favada had to take a second to register that the throw had scampered wide down the first base line into foul territory. So a hit and an error in the inning. Pio's still yet to produce a run since the bottom of the 5th, but comfortably with an 8-run advantage. Want to know the count to Moniz, rounding out the Elmira batting order. Van Duzer kicks and fires, and Moniz fouls it back, 1-1. Time called, and Moniz steps back in. Favada, a small lead off a third with 2 outs. Would imagine a pass ball would score him. And there's a block in the dirt there. Speak of the devil. Good stop made by Barron to keep Favada at third with 2 outs. 2-1 to Moniz. Van Duzer comes set with Favada creeping down the line. Kicks and fires. 2-1 fastball misses inside at the knees to Jacob. 3-1 the count. Van Duzer's next offering. Breaking ball hit down the right field line. And it'll skirt into foul territory up against the tarp. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count with 2 outs in this continuation ball game. Elmira ahead 11-3. Glad you could join us for all the action here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Van Duzer comes set and delivers a payoff pitch to Moniz. Hit in the air to right field. Bowerman settles under it, retreats toward the line, and makes the catch to end the bottom of the 8th inning. For Elmira, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and they leave a runner on base. We'll take it to the 9th. Pios ahead by 8 here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira. 11-3, the Pioneers lead as we get you set for the top of the ninth inning. Jaden Madrid to step into the box. It'll be the top three in the batting order for Geneva in against Larson Birch, with the Red Wings trailing by 8 runs. And the first offering from Birch is a fastball high to Madrid. Jaden takes above the letters, a ball and no strikes. It'll be Madrid followed by the second baseman in J.D. Robinson. Zach Banks, the designated hitter, to follow after that. Just missing inside is Birch. 2-0 the count to Madrid. Jaden in his last trip to the plate, a pop-up to Brooks Hicken in the 6th. 2-0, breaking ball, called strike one at the knees. Birch working from the left side of the rubber. Delivers, fastball inside to Madrid, 3 balls and a strike. Three-one, chopped to third base. John Simmons ranges way over from the shortstop position, a throw in time. Simmons putting on a defensive clinic today, makes another beautiful play. 1 out in the top of the 9th. So that'll bring up J.D. Robinson, who grounded to the shortstop O'Neill his last trip to the plate. Bats with 1 out and the base is empty. Pios looking to close out their 5th victory of the season. It'll be their 5th victory in the last 6 ball games, 5-1. Also their 4th victory in the last 5 ball games, right here from historic Dunfield. 0-1 the count with 1 out. Righty swinging Robinson. Birch comes set, working out of the stretch position. Tall windup and delivery. 0-1 fouled back by Robinson, who was late on the fastball from Larson, 0-2. Three runs on 6 hits and 6 errors for Geneva. 11 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. 0-2 with 1 out. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Got him to chase out of the zone. Robinson's retired for out number 2, and the Pios are an out away. So with 2 outs and the base is empty, it'll bring up a pinch hitter for Zach Banks. First offering is a fastball for a called strike at the knees. It's Cannon Van Duzer, the pitcher, batting for Zach Banks. How about that? Pios ahead by 8. Birch, a deep breath, rockin' fire from the left side of the rubber, and the fastball misses off the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Birch steps off the mound, now gets back on. 1-1 with the bases empty. Pios an out away from victory. Birch comes set and fires. Outside corner, called strike 2. One-two with 2 outs. Birch fires, just swatted foul to stay alive. It'll be a 1-2 with 2 outs. Birch comes set and fires. Breaking ball in the outside batter's box. 2-2. Birch looking to complete inning number 5 of work, and he does so effectively. Ball game over. Pios win 11-3 in this continuation ball game with Geneva to advance to 2-0 against the Red Wings, 5-4 overall, climbing back nicely into the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League Western Division standings. The outfield of Vincent Favada, Ben Rohde, and TJ Grimesti combine for their celebration, as now they'll convene in the infield. Pioneers dugout comes out to celebrate the victory as the Pios take the day game of this doubleheader. So 11-3 the final score for Geneva. 3 runs on 6 hits and 6 errors. For the Pios, 11 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Stick around, though, for coverage at 6:30 p.m. We'll have a shortened Pios pregame right before that, including the manager's report with your Elmira Pioneers manager, Andy Drum. And then we'll have first pitch shortly after 6:30. Once again, a 7-inning ball game tonight. 11-3 the final score, however, in Game 1. For now, I'm saying so long. Farrell Hudson here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. We'll be back with Game 2 coverage in a little over an hour. See you then.